evening. Lovely to be here. I'm looking forward to hearing some great people later. We ready? This collaboration is called a novel. A detective novel in which the reader is the murderer. After a few chapters, the police call. Later, you are arrested. You finish reading it in prison.
Broke down the flesh of my interlocutor slowly over a course of months, watched the birds feed off him, the foxes out in the woods near the sea in an open cell I languished in. Felt no pity for him as we lay there looking up at the sun. Who knows what the forest and cell were? Did I become sort of an animal with rain on my face, flesh running from me, exposed and left open as if I were a cop?
A novel where the pages are divided into several horizontal strips or rows by black lines running across the page. The different storylines that make up the novel are each assigned one of these rows and narrated simultaneously.
3 dogs on their straight leads crossed in front of me. Consider that each dog is a narrative, what of that? Like a huge and gentle soul, tangling, pulling as they rush into the woods. What fun! I would follow them for 1,000 years and wonder on their meaning, wonder on their games. I am yet to see, oh, their merriness, their scurrying legs. Their ball is very light, their ball bounces in light. Oh, my car!
A detective novel which during the investigation proliferates clues, suspects and causes endlessly, where everything is multiply determined, over-determined, as in a dream that has no bottom. Each clue that is discovered only leads to other clues. Each chapter proliferates into other chapters without end. The investigation is inconclusive, the novel unfinished. The patient X, a sex worker, has an exhausted, sallow face, doesn't know what happened, doesn't know the man who wasn't the current boyfriend, sat there. Son pulls her arm, anxious, winnowing in his school uniform. Where did he go? There's grain all over the floor and the night is slipping away. Case, I have the answers. I have all the answers. Alcoholic, good cop, alcoholic, played down his woes. A novel without punctuation. The characters never rest. Nothing stops. Lot has a wife, a salt still running in the rain without sleep. The sight she stared up to heaven from the page cannot stop seeing the turned over seat, the eternal solute that gave the character of water power to birth and to regret and to pause destruction, intimated from the beginning of the word, the sin, the sea, precipitated into the man-made, monkey-made woman, wavering between the city, fled. A novel printed on transparent vellum. You can see what happens in later chapters, but only obscurely. Everything unfolds as if under the aegis of an inexorable fate. On the 847 and saw coming toward me a maniac half out the sunroof of his van, flailing arms at the traffic at the dusk, quite without property, a rage, obscurity, unfolding in flat space where 1,000 attributes fly. I felt silent at the wheel, yet my eyes had been tricked. 'Twas a poem, writ by a botspot, a thin sheet of vellum, improperly tied down. Everyone in their cars was hidden, writing the story. A novel entitled Your Words Only. When the reader opens it, they find 394 pages, each of which has the novel's title at the top of the page and the page number at the bottom of the page. Otherwise, the pages are blank. Petition me for the letter, the word code out the filthy novel where nothing's written down but you get the gist. Bad author with a rotten tooth in with a filthy dentist. Typists in this purge, but the dentist is gone, the landlord's gone, left behind an almost unreadable request.
word, world, more, whatever that means in a small and dingy flat. Our title characters are panicked, close to calling out.
A novel in tweets.
Zhang Zhenfeng is cooking some food, hashtag, and that's the important thing. He was hungry and wanted to send some noodles round for his friends, for his photos of his friends. I'm getting so ugly, let's eat, hashtag. Wash rice with water, then the water with clean brine mixed 3 times, let it leaven. It is Easter, it is Jesus, and Jesus in the time catches coagulating press to make some sort of simple food to hold the mixture.
A novel that reinvents the novel form, a work of genius that is submitted to a literary agent. The agent doesn't like it and asks the novelist to make some changes. The changes are made. Still, the agent is not satisfied. She asks for further changes, clearer signalling, fuller characters, a more recognisable plot. Finally, after 2 years of revisions, the agent is satisfied. The book is published. It is a sensation and goes on to win several prizes, topping the bestseller lists for a month. But it is no longer a novel of genius. It is a pale copy of other books that have won the same prizes, sold as many copies, that have similarly been overhyped.
Change the building always was a second building that lay still for hours, weeks, while the new structure improved. Saw the enormity of the course, the length of the developing stretch until its final build flew up. Genius work to a queen's head. At the close, the fat back of one completed thing is this build, a bird, incorporate, a block in height, where one sees the face, interminable 10 reds.
A science fiction novel that is set on Earth in 2022. Nothing in the novel hints that it is a science fiction novel. There are no aliens, there is no global catastrophe, there are no spaceships, there are no scientists, there are no cyborgs, there is no time travel, there is no telekinesis, there is no intergalactic war, there is no teleportation, there is no speculative technology, there are no super intelligent computers, there is no mind control. Everything happens just as it would in a realist novel, but 1 second earlier.